Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Nanyang Spectrum. I'm DJ. We have a great episode in store for you. Today, our reporter Kimberly Tay takes you behind the scenes of an annual event open to all NTU Hall members, the Hall Olympiad closing ceremony. If you are thinking of selling the expensive textbook at the end of the semester, then our reporter Melissa Tay shows you how an app called Carousel can help you. And our adventurous Yu Hui uncovers Silat, a very different form of martial arts from Southeast Asia. Stay with Nanyang Spectrum to find out more.
And in Let's Talk, I will be talking to Max Lee, an entrepreneur who manages to use traditional media in the age of social media. If you love Instagram, you will want to see this interview. We also have a member of the NTU Silat Club who will teach some Silat moves. So if you want to learn some martial arts, stick around!
But first, let's head to Nanyang Auditorium where Kim had a look for the preparations for this year's Hall Olympiad closing ceremony.
Planning a large-scale event like the Hall Olympiad closing ceremony is no easy feat, especially for a student-run committee. There are many things to consider like judges, lineup, venue, and the list goes on and on. So today, let's talk to the HOCC president and see how she managed to make this event a reality.
This HOCC is a very big event, so me and my committee, which are all the cultural director from all hall, we're preparing this since last year, late November. There are so many things that happen throughout these few months, we have problem finding judges, finding them from different genre and stuff, and scheduling all our rehearsals and actual day performance. But we overcome all this together because we actually have delegate works to each other and we work together as a team.
For the participating dancers, the competition marks the end of months of grueling training and rehearsing to get their steps perfect. Tonight, they will get their chance to show their skills to the 16 halls in hopes of winning the champion title. Hall 16's dance team, with the unique moniker Strawberry Stretch, has placed in the top 3 for the past 3 years. Tonight, they are hoping to keep their position in the competition.
Tonight will be a very important night for myself as well as my crew members because we have put in tremendous hard work and commitment, but we are filled with high spirits and anticipation towards this performance. I hope that we can leave a strong impression with our concept and dance.
So I feel a bit nervous because this is actually my first time performing, but then I know that if we give our best, that will be enough.
I always look forward to the moments on stage. I feel very excited when I dance. So rather than feeling anxious and worried for how I perform or how I'm going to dance wrongly, I just go all out and I enjoy myself.
The hall residents and visitors are equally excited for tonight's competition. Many of them start waiting outside these doors hours before they even open, hoping to get a good seat for the best view.
HOCC is definitely what I look forward to every year because the standard is really very high. And it's a really good way to start my recess week.
I heard that the competition this year is a lot stronger than last year, so I think all the dance teams really give their all and to make all their efforts worth it tonight.
Tonight, the 16 participating dance teams will showcase their skills and talents for the residents to enjoy. They have put in intense hours of hard work, so it is bound to be a fantastic show. This is Kimberly Tay reporting from NTU.
We are reaching the end of the semester, and you must be thinking about how to get rid of your used textbooks. Carousel is an app that you can make buying and selling within NTU a breeze.
You may have noticed this poster around campus. Carousel is a mobile application where users may buy and sell various items. In lieu of their success, Carousel has now launched an online NTU marketplace. Let's find out more. Carousel has a range of categories where users may buy or sell items from clothing to toys, books, and even tickets for events. The application prides itself on its usability and user-friendliness. Chia Hui-yi, Carousel's Community Experience Manager, tells us a little more about what Carousel hopes to achieve by creating this NTU marketplace.
We want our students to be able to just buy and sell with their own schoolmates, which makes it easy for them to be able to arrange meetups in schools. Since you're meeting with schoolmates, is definitely there's definitely the trust factor inside there.
Here's the Carousel team hard at work. Working together with them will be a group of NTU students known as the Carousel Ambassadors. You may have already seen them around school, giving out cards and stickers to introduce this application.
My role as a campus ambassador is to promote NTU Marketplace to NTU students. So far, their response is quite positive. Most of them already heard of carousel apps.
Well, it looks like the Carousel ambassadors are all prepared and ready to go. But what do current users of the app think?
Okay, I really like the flexibility that Carousel provides because it allows me to arrange for meetups or like postage without divulging my personal information. So overall, I would say that it has been a great shopping experience.
I like the app because there are categories, so it's quite convenient for both buyers and sellers. I believe that both parties have to be responsible. There was once I met this buyer, he backed out at the last minute, so it was a waste of my time and then it's not that nice for both parties.
Borrowing textbooks from the school library is one way to save costs. Now, there's another way. The NTU Marketplace allows students to buy textbooks at second-hand prices and with the convenience of meeting up in school. This is Melissa Tay, reporting from NTU.
If you enjoy posting your photos up on Instagram, then you'll be more than interested in today's guest. He has managed to make traditional media and social media by printing and delivering your Instagram photos straight to your doorstep. So now, you can have your online photos framed and hanging on your walls. Let's Talk is next.
Today, our first guest is an NTU business undergraduate who owns not one but two photo businesses. With a love for photography, he has successfully turned his passion into his work. Welcome to Let's Talk, Max.
Hey.
Tell me a little bit more about Social Print Lab and how it started.
Okay, Social Print Lab, we actually have this idea for Social Print Lab in late 2012. So we actually went into planning and developing stage in 2013, early 2013. And we actually start its operation in late September 2013. So up to now, it's probably around 7 months of operations. Yep.
So how has business been the past 7 months?
Business has been pretty good. We actually exceed our forecast, our business forecast. So we're actually doing pretty well in terms of our growth and stuff. Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Thanks.
So tell me a little bit about interesting customers. Have you had any interesting photographs?
One interesting customer our team actually love is actually a mother of two. She's actually in her late 60s, so she actually printed around 120 travel photos with us. And in her photos, it's actually quite interesting because in her late 60s, she actually traveled with her husband. So they actually had some intimate photos in their travel photos. Probably like the husband actually piggyback her and them kissing in the photos as well. So we actually love this kind of customers when we print out and actually put a smile to our face. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that must be very heartwarming for the team.
Yes. Yeah.
So I understand you are also an avid photographer yourself. Tell me a little bit about how you started on photography.
Okay, before Social Print Lab, I'm actually very interested in playing around with Polaroids. So I actually experiment with quite a few stuff. Probably taking Polaroid photos with expired films, and the effects turn out is actually pretty interesting. But I don't really recommend you guys to do it because it actually damage your cameras. So after Polaroids, I actually moved on to Lomo cameras, where it's actually low resolution kind of photos to actually make your photos turn out to have certain effects when you develop the films.
So what kind of hobbies or interests do you have and how do they interact with a photography hobby?
Maybe recently I just picked up scuba diving. So I actually brought photography down into diving. So there are actually a few underwater shots that I actually took and it's pretty interesting as well. Yeah.
So that's really interesting. So for yourself, do you print your photos?
Of course I do. I mean, if I own this business, I probably love prints as well. So I do print out a lot of my travel photos and some of my photos that I actually treat it as my own memories. As Social Print Lab slogan is actually called Memories for Keeps. So those memories that I treasure the most, I actually print it out into physical prints. Yes.
Well, just to wrap things up a little, maybe you could tell us about how the name Social Print Lab came about.
It's pretty interesting. When we actually first think of name for this company, I actually thought of Insta, and my name Max, so I wanted to infuse the name. So Insta Max was something very, very nice. So I went to Google and to make sure that no other companies actually uses it. But when I Googled something actually shocking came out, Insta Max is actually used by a Malaysian company. Actually, it's for men's supplements. So we actually decided to, okay, maybe we should forego the name, and we actually come out with Social Print Lab. Social stands for social media and the social society, and Print Lab is to print out these photos in social medias to physical prints.
Well, I think Social Print Lab is a really great name.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming down to us today, Max.
No problem.
So, Tingjie, are you an avid Instagrammer?
Well, I used to use Instagram quite often last time, take photos of my food as well as interesting places that I went to. But now with studies and everything, it's not so much. So yeah. If photography is not your ideal hobby, then maybe the martial arts are. Siu Hui, our punchy reporter, went behind the scenes at Singapore Silat Federation.
Silat is a type of martial arts originating mainly from Indonesia. It has 4 main components including self-defense and as part of art and culture. It is also considered a sport by many. Let's find out from Silat students what they think of the sport.
Yeah, I do get hurt during my training and also a competition because it's no pain, no gain. So it's like when we get hurt, we will understand what's our mistake and try not to do that again.
For me, my aim is to represent my club for the upcoming national competition in Singapore, which is the biggest tournament. My inspiration is also to help all those younger generations so that they can be like me, they can improve themselves, they can fight well, and it's also for them to self-defense themselves.
Despite the injuries that the students suffer during their training, many of them enjoy Silat. Some of them also have ambitions to represent Singapore at the international level. What does it take to learn Silat? And why is Silat so unique? Let's find out more from the coach and referee of the Silat team.
Okay, unlike other martial arts, alright, Silat we have the slow, but what people call it, they coin it like slow motion and the fast, the aggressiveness. Alright, in Silat it's not everything is hard. We have the movement, the stance, which is very slow motion, but when we start to attack, it is very fast, it's very aggressive.
Firstly, Silat as a sport, it is good for someone's fitness as a form of exercise.
It is fair to say that the coach and students do enjoy their time teaching and learning Silat despite the tough training. Interested to keep fit in a new way? Learning Silat might be the right choice for you. This is Xiu Hui reporting at the Singapore Silat Federation.
Keeping with Silat, we are lucky enough to have someone with us who has been practicing this art for 3 years. She is a member of the NTU Silat Club. And Let's Talk is next.
So it's great to have you here with us today, Hanis. Tell me a little bit about how you got started on Silat as a sport.
I've always been interested in Silat since I was young because it's part of our culture. But the thing that sparked my interest to actually start doing Silat in university was when I attended the freshman orientation camp, and some students actually showcased to us a few moves, and I thought they looked interesting. So that sparked my interest to join Silat in university.
So I understand there are different forms of Silat. Tell me a little bit about the different forms.
For sports-wise, there are 2 basic categories to Silat. We have the match category where you spar with your opponent in the arena, which is the one that I'm more used to. And we also have the artistic category where athletes learn moves beforehand and showcase their moves during the competition itself.
Well, it's good to know as well all the benefits that Silat has. Are there also any physical challenges perhaps?
Physical challenges, well, since I never did sports before university, my fitness level wasn't quite there yet when I started Silat, but gradually it has gotten much better. And in year 1, when I wanted to join a competition, the IVP, I actually fractured my hand like a month before the competition, and I got the injury during training itself. So I had to pull out at the last minute, and it was quite frustrating because you've trained for so long, and then to have to pull out at the last minute. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine Silat would be rather physically taxing.
Yeah.
So, as a girl doing martial arts, do you think guys get intimidated of you?
Guys would jokingly they'll act intimidated. Like, for example, if I were to say I do Silat, they'll be like, ooh, like, I'm so scared. But actually, I don't think guys should be intimidated because I mean, girls who practice silat, we don't randomly go around punching guys. Unless they try to attack us, then we'll retaliate. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess silat is really useful as a self-defense for girls. Perhaps you could show us some moves. We could move over to a larger area.
All right.
So honeys, now that we have a bigger space, why not you start by showing us something really simple?
Yeah, sure.
Well, honeys, thank you for the awesome demonstration. Maybe now you could teach me and DJ some maneuvers to self-defend?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so before I teach you some moves, I think the basic thing is to respect your opponent. So just put your palms to the front and just give a simple nod. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have DJ try to punch Melissa. And Melissa, I'm going to teach you a technique to defend yourself, which is the blocking technique. So DJ, if you would just punch her using your right fist. Okay, since he's punching with the right fist, right, so I'll need you to block with your right forearm. So when you see the fist coming in towards you, sorry, your left forearm. So when you see the fist coming towards you, you just block it away from you. Yeah, so that's the main rule in silat. You always want to block any attacks away from your body, away from your face. Yeah, so you want to try that?
Yeah.
Okay, here goes.
Yeah, that's quite good. Yeah.
That was
Alright.
a useful tip.
Alright guys, this has been fun. Melissa and I are going to keep practicing. So we'll see you next week on next episode of Nanyang Spectrum. Goodbye!